Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Squared Circle Junkies. We are your host, Josh the Otter Hollums.
Michael the Bear Hayes.
And today our topic is the most recent pay-per-view, WrestleMania 39.
I just gotta say, I don't know if it's just because I have watched a lot of WrestleManias, but this is one that I actually watched close, like to the live event.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too.
I was super excited about every match.
Yeah.
With the exception of one, because I already knew what happened because a coworker of mine spoiled it.
Was it the last match?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
But I didn't know how.
Oh, okay.
He just told me who won.
Yeah, that was a great match. I love that one. But we'll get to that a little bit later on. Let's see. Let's think of some wrestling news. Any sort of wrestling news you've heard of?
Other than Triple H announcing that for this year's WWE draft, instead of just certain superstars, everybody is up for grabs.
Oh, okay. It's been so long since I've seen a draft, probably since the late 2000s that I've seen a draft, so I'm not really sure how they worked anymore. I know they stopped for a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in years.
Mm.
But I think that's really all I got. Other than, I don't know if it's a fact or not, but, my coworker who spoiled it for me, he told me that Brock Lesnar technically is retired. Like, he retired a few years back, and now he's just kind of a come-and-go type of guy.
Yeah, he's like a part-timer. Yeah, I think technically, I guess maybe his main full-time career is retired, but he's still, obviously comes for a pay-per-view, he'll show up to a Raw or SmackDown every now and then. I was going to say the big wrestling news, and I don't know, you've probably heard about it, maybe you just didn't think about it just now. WWE got bought, they sold themselves to Endeavor,
yep.
Which is, I'm not really sure how it works, but it's like a sister company with the UFC.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. I knew there was something big, I just couldn't remember. But yeah. Vince McMahon, he bought WWE in 1981 for $1 million.
Yeah.
And he just sold it for $9.3 billion.
Oh, yeah.
That is more money than I could ever imagine.
He's back to, he was already a majority shareholder before, but now he's back to, really, hopefully, not running the day-to-day stuff. But, a lot of people have said that Raw after WrestleMania seemed like a Vince McMahon Raw, and it might be bad news that maybe he's taking back over reins over the creative.
Well, I did read into detail about that, about Endeavor being the buyer and everything. Triple H is going to remain head of creative.
Yeah, that's good. So. I just hope, because I don't know, it almost feels like that is like a PR thing, because a lot of people stopped watching WWE for a while, came back now that Triple H was in charge, and I think people are speculating that Vince McMahon is back in control, but they're just going to say Triple H is still in control. That way fans don't get mad and want to leave again. Yeah. But there's been a boycott going on, people wanting to wait until Vince McMahon is fired to watch it again. Or he wouldn't be fired. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah. I will maybe step down.
Step down, yeah. It's just, he is very out of touch, I would say, anyways, very out of touch with what people want to see nowadays. Yeah. And, with Triple H, him running, it was not everything was perfect, but I feel like overall wrestling became the forefront again.
I will say this, I could definitely tell the difference in this year's WrestleMania versus last year's, even though I didn't really watch all of last year's.
Yeah.
But I could definitely tell that there was a difference. As far as, I guess I could say, brutality.
Yeah, it felt a little bit edgier, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was great, this whole pay-per-view. But yeah, that's the big wrestling news right now. Vince McMahon selling WWE to Endeavor, and there's talks that maybe they're going to go back to the pay-per-view method of having to buy each pay-per-view, which I hope isn't true.
Yeah, because I really enjoy, just having it right there. Yeah. But at the same time, I understand, as far as the wrestlers, the superstars, they get paid, for the pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah, instead of this kind of big deal. But it would suck for the audience, because you could either get Peacock for a month, each month, and pay, I don't know how much it is monthly, or $5, or you could pay for the year, which is probably like 120 maybe not even that much, maybe 60, 70 for the whole year.
It's
and get to see everything, So overall, it's gonna. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope they stick with this because I like the fact that you don't have to pay for each one.
Yeah.
That you just pay for the subscription and you're able to watch all of the content there is. And I hope with this sale, Peacock still maintains the rights to this stuff. I would hate it if they end up going somewhere else. Because, I use Peacock. I watch the John Wick movies on Peacock. I use it for movies here and there, but I mainly use it for wrestling. So I hope they keep it.
Yeah,
but
I really enjoy having Peacock, so I could go back and watch the good old years of Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression and all those.
Even go as far back as the Golden Age.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, so I guess go ahead and move forward here with the old episode because we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we do.
This is 12 matches, I think, right?
14
matches, and at least 7.5 hours of WrestleMania content. Not just including the matches. There's also backstage stuff and the intros.
So I just want to point out that the first night, April 1st, they had a total attendance of 80,497 people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were really excited about that because they kept talking about it.
Yeah. Now, as far as the second night, they had... it was around 81,000. But altogether, like for both nights, they had an overall attendance of 161,892 people.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. And it was held at SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles, California.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know this, but Michael Cole being the, what would you call it? The commentator general, I guess.
Yeah.
This was his 22nd WrestleMania as a commentator.
I didn't know that. I didn't hear them say that. That's cool.
Yeah. I got that little ear.
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, I got to write that down because
cool.
Michael Cole's a veteran. That's the word, veteran.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of. So we're going to let the otter take over to begin with.
Okay, well, let's start here with, I guess we should say the hosts of WrestleMania are The Miz and Snoop Dogg. Yeah. That was pretty interesting.
Snoop Double G.
It was actually funny. My girlfriend Jade, she's starting to get kind of into wrestling, starting to learn some things, but she thought The Miz was the Mitts.
Mitts?
Yeah. So that cracked me up.
I didn't know that Snoop Dogg was in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, because they kept announcing him as WWE Hall of Famer.
Huh, okay, yeah, I didn't know that. I know that on social media there's been a thing going on. I guess Snoop Dogg had his own, championship belt, and different celebrities were kind of, stealing it, quote-unquote, stealing it from him, and that was pretty funny.
Maybe, is it kind of like the 24/7 Celebrity Challenge?
I guess so.
Championship?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not totally sure all of that, but we'll start with match number 1. We got Austin Theory versus John Cena for the United States Championship, and this one was it was funny because this part isn't funny. They brought up the Make-A-Wish Foundation and they had the kids that John Cena was making a wish for. But in my head, all I was thinking was, if John Cena loses this, those kids are going to cry.
Yeah.
And how terrible that is when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, because he is... I remember them saying he has made over, 600 donations.
I think in the history of Make-A-Wish, he has made the most wishes.
Yeah, because he's all about the kids, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
But... over 600-something donations to Make-A-Wish.
That's insane.
Making these little kids' dreams come true.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But I really don't know much about Austin Theory except he's a local to us because he's from McDonough, Georgia.
A-Town down, baby.
Yeah, A-Town down. Yeah, and other than him being a heel right now, I don't really know much about him.
I don't know either. They kept alluding to him kind of having the same trajectory as John Cena. Kind of, but unfortunately I don't really know what that trajectory is other than him having a United States Championship kind of early on in his career. Not early on, he's been around for a little while, but I think this is his first title, I think.
Yeah, he's 25.
25, yeah. So he's young.
Yeah. I just want to point out that he's a biter. He really likes biting because he bit John Cena's ear.
Yeah.
And like shortly after the match started.
Yeah, I remember that. I also want to point out the fact that he has a big butt. Did you notice that watching the pay-per-view? Austin Theory just got a plump behind.
He's thick.
Yeah.
I hate to point it out, but I have to because Austin Theory called him out on it. John Cena's bald spot.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
I just wish he would go back to having a bald head because...
Yeah, if not bald, maybe just a,
short.
What do you call it? I don't know what you call it.
Buzz cut?
Yeah, buzz cut. There you go.
Yeah, I will say it's weird seeing John Cena now because as a kid it was always buzz cut.
Yeah.
It never got long. And then now that he's, like semi-retired or pretty much fully retired, he comes back with his hair and it looks so weird. I'm still not used to it.
He's pushing his hair back like it's in his eyes and everything.
Yeah. And he looks... And not that he looks not as muscular, but he looked like short during this match, which felt weird.
He still looked very muscular, but at the same time he looked a little flabby.
I have a feeling just not doing it all the time anymore. Probably doesn't exercise as much. I don't want to, body shame John Cena. He's still in better shape than I am.
Oh, yeah.
Than I'll ever be
By far. I'm 6'3", 255 pounds of nothing but fat. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit on the Austin Theory hitting a snap suplex because you don't really see that much anymore. To me, anyway. It doesn't seem like you do. Usually it's just a normal suplex instead of the real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one I think Steve Austin would do a lot. That snap suplex.
Yeah, and Chris Benoit, he would do it a lot. I'm pretty sure it was it was Austin. He rolled up. I remember him rolling and he did a backwards RKO. I thought that was pretty cool. I guess a neck breaker.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty cool. And then he hit a sunset drop kick. He freaking dove over and then...
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah.
Because he was going to do something similar again, right? But then didn't John Cena catch him?
Yeah.
He went back out to do another move. I don't know if he got him in the attitude adjustment or not.
Yeah, that's right. It is called the attitude. No.
What are you thinking of?
You thinking of the...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he went to do that, and I think that's when Austin bit his hand.
Oh, okay.
Because he also bit his hand. But he did get him in the, I don't know what it's called, but I remember it being called the STFU, the submission that John Cena does.
I think now they just call it STF.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's what the move is actually called in wrestling. And then for John Cena, it was called the STFU.
Okay.
But since they went PG, it's now just called the STF. That's why the attitude adjustment used to be called the FU.
Yeah.
But since they went PG, they switched it to attitude adjustment or AA. Some people just say the AA.
Yeah.
I will say I noticed something that was nice that Cena did. And it was a little bit later on in the match. I'm probably jumping ahead, but he went to hit the five knuckle shuffle. Right before he did, he stopped. The crowd said it with him. He stopped to kind of give him like a prayer hands, thank you kind of thing, and then hit him. And it was a pretty good looking five knuckle shuffle because I know John Cena kind of infamously like misses on that one a lot, where it's like way above their head. Never even hits it right.
But you never, the way that they angle the cameras and everything, you can never tell.
Exactly.
Okay, so when he went for the AA, that's not when he bit his hand. He reversed it into a DDT.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
But I always love a good DDT.
Yeah, me too.
There's one later that I'm going to hit on that I was just like, holy shit.
I'm trying to think, because that sounds so familiar. We'll get to it when we get to it, because I forgot what match that was. But go ahead.
I can't remember when he bit his hand, but he bit his hand. It doesn't matter. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, he went for the STF again, and then the referee got knocked out somehow.
Yeah.
I think when John Cena went to go put him down, he actually ran into the ref.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that. because then that's when Theory hit the low blow, right? When the ref wasn't looking, or the ref was down.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Hit him with the low blow to the boys, and then hits the A-Town down. And
it's a pretty cool looking move. I thought when he was about to do it, I thought he was doing the. I thought he was about to do the GTS. Yeah, I thought he was doing the GTS. But yeah, it's like you kind of picked him up in the over the shoulder, the fireman's handle or carry, and then you flip him over. But instead of dropping them down like the AA, you're doing the GTS. You kind of spin them around to like a neck breaker, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what the A-tail down is? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool. I like Austin Theory. I mean, so far what I've seen of him, I like what he's got going on there. But Austin Theory wins the match after hitting him with the A-town down, which I wasn't surprised because John Cena isn't a full-timer. Why would they give him the belt? But I was surprised that John Cena didn't put up more defense in the match. Like, he kind of just got whipped around a good bit. Came back, did some of his 5 moves of doom. I don't think he even did... He didn't do the top rope leg drop, which I was kind of looking forward to. But overall, I thought that was a pretty good match. Pretty solid opener.
Yeah, it definitely was a good starter.
Yeah.
To me, not a dark match, but similar to one.
Yeah,
just trying to get the fans riled up for the rest of the night.
I agree.
But I think like we talked about in our first episode, I think John Cena was just there to just try to give new talent the push that they need.
Yeah. Especially since they keep kind of likening Austin Theory to John Cena.
Yeah.
So I think him going against him was a good idea. And I'm pretty sure Theory has said before that John Cena's kind of like an idol to him. Yeah. Maybe not in kayfabe, because that promo where John Cena talked about how, I might have a bald spot, but at least I don't have to pipe in crowd noise during my matches. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be, if you're gonna go in a promo match with John Cena, you gotta be ready.
Doctor of Thugonomics.
Because that reminds me of when he called out The Rock for having notes on his hand. You remember that?
Yeah.
And apparently that was on the fly. The Rock had no idea that was going to happen. But we'll talk about that some other time because we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Yeah. So moving forward, our second match of the night is the WrestleMania Showcase. It's a fatal 4-way tag match. Yep. And I did have in my notes, but my notes got deleted. That's why I'm using yours. I did have in my notes that I was very confused on the rules because during the match, it seems like anyone can tag anyone.
Yeah.
Which I was confused by because usually tag team, you have to tag your team member in. But either way, so our entrants were Braun Strowman and Ricochet, which is a pretty cool group.
Yeah, I was really rooting for Braun and Ricochet.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they were going to win that one.
Ricochet's a good high flyer. He's really fast. Braun's just this huge powerhouse.
Hulk of a man, yeah. And then it was Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Valhalla Viking Raiders, which I don't know anything about them.
I know Sarah Logan is Valhalla.
Oh, okay.
I know that much.
And then we have Otis and Chad Gable, Alpha Academy, going with each other. I like Chad Gable, and Otis is funny too. I like both of them. Versus the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins.
Yeah.
I was in between wanting Braun and Ricochet to win and Street Profits to win.
Yeah.
I was, happy with the result, but I wanted either one of those to win.
Yeah, I really like Montez Ford. Mm-hmm. I don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the Street Profits are not good as a tag, because they are.
Yeah.
But I really think Montez Ford would do really good as a singles competitor.
Yeah, I think they're starting to kind of push that because he was there at Elimination Chamber by himself, and he wasn't wearing... Because usually, if a tag member goes out on their own, they kind of still wear the tag team uniforms, and he was kind of wearing his own thing.
Oh, okay.
So
that boy can get some air.
Yeah, but I mean, all due respect to Angelo Dawkins too.
Oh yeah,
he's great too.
Yeah, I'm not to say that he's not.
It's just unfortunately there's always a Jannetty and there's always a Shawn Michaels. Yep. And I hate to say it because he's a great wrestler. He's great in the ring. But there's always a Shawn Michaels and a Jannetty. That's just the way it is, unfortunately.
Yeah. So we start out with Ricochet versus Chad Gable. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you, but Chad Gable, for some reason, has always annoyed me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Huh. And I hate the whole shoosh.
Yeah.
I hate that. I don't know
Thank
why.
You. Thank you. But I will say, he reminds me of the way they were pushing Kurt Angle to begin with. Where he's a heel, he's like a delusional heel, where he thinks he's a babyface. He thinks everyone's there to cheer him, but they're all booing him because he's annoying. That's kind of and also I mean the leotard and just his like prowess in the ring just reminds me a lot of Kurt Angle.
I never thought of that.
Yeah,
I never did think of that, but you're right.
Yeah,
because
this kind of reminds me of because he's saying thank you, but everyone's boo boo. Thank you. It reminds me of Kurt Angle all the way. So they're all in. I don't have any specific notes for a lot of the match because it was a lot of jumbling around.
I have one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have a few, but one really stuck out. You pointed out Austin Theory's butt. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to point out the very noticeable butt sweat stain that Otis had.
Yeah.
It was... He just had sweat stains everywhere, but that one was just like right there. It was just a huge circle right at his butt.
He's a big boy for sure.
He definitely is. He reminds me of a TikToker that we watch. His name is Caleb Francis, I think. He looks like him, and he's not like big, but in the face he looks like him and sounds like him. Yeah. So he
reminds me of like a bulldog. Like the way, like his arms can't go down all the way. All the way down by his side.
Chad Gable, he hit a rolling German suplex on
Braun.
Yeah, on Braun.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, how in the hell did he pick him up?
I have no idea.
That was crazy. Anyway. The only other notes that I have is that Ricochet, he hit a shooting star press outside of the ring onto, I think, everybody.
I also want to point out, and I forgot if there's a special name for it, but that big suplex they all did in the corner.
Yes.
That was crazy. Well, I'm pretty sure Montez Ford, he was the one who went up and over. Like, that had to hurt. How much height was on that suplex?
And that's where I saw the butt sweat stain.
Yeah, because Otis got up. I do want to go back to just really quick to that rolling German suplex. Like, that was insane.
Yeah, he just...
I mean, Chad Gable is probably 5'6", 5'7", and Braun's just at least close to 7 feet tall. Yeah. I don't know exactly, his height there, but...
Significant. I can't say it. Very, very much so, like, a little person compared to Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that was insane, though. Just the way he was able to roll into it and land it, but also kind of like... It reminded me of Mr. Perfect, when he hit the perfect plex, and he keeps his... he's got his back kind of arched and his feet up, and is able to turn that into a pin. Like, the fact that you still have the strength in your lower body after picking up Braun Strowman is insane to me. So that was really impressive. And I will say, I mean, Chad Gable's character is annoying, but the wrestler is great. Oh, he's great in the ring.
Yeah, he can definitely hit some good moves.
Yeah.
So they hit that big suplex off of the turnbuckle, and was it after that Montez hit the frog splash, or was the suplex on Montez?
I don't remember. I don't remember that part. Are you getting towards the end, or is this...
Yeah. Oh, because that's how they ended.
Because I know Ricochet was going to do the shooting star press on Dawkins, but Dawkins put his knee up and held Ricochet.
That's what it was.
And then Montez Ford did the frog splash onto Ricochet's back. Angelo Dawkins rolled it into a pin, and he won. They won the match. Yep. Street Profits won. I'm not necessarily surprised they won. I definitely knew the Raiders weren't going to win. Unfortunately, maybe they're good in the ring. I haven't seen enough of them. I just don't really care for the Viking gimmick.
I don't know if you remember, there was a group back in the Ruthless Aggression days called the Highlanders. Mm-hmm. Do you remember them?
Sounds familiar.
They weren't dressing like Vikings like they were, but they were kind of dressing like Vikings.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a gimmick that would work best in the 80s or the early 90s.
Yeah, I remember...
Not so much one now.
This came up on my phone a few weeks ago, but it was like so-and-so years ago, and it was a picture of, I can't remember their names, one of the Highlanders. While he was still contracted with WWE, he was at a TNA event, and he got in trouble for being there.
Oh, yeah, that does sound familiar. Yeah, I feel like I heard that before, too.
So that's the end of the second match. Mm-hmm. I do want to point out real quick, we have not seen or heard from Big E in, a year?
Yeah, every now and then he'll do, like, some backstage, not backstage segments, but like Instagram videos or something occasionally.
They had a commercial with him this year, a Snickers commercial.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, it's Big E.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he broke his neck. Well, Brock Lesnar accidentally broke his neck.
Yeah.
Doing a really bad German suplex.
Yeah, he just landed directly on his head. Luckily, he wasn't paralyzed, and I don't think his neck was totally broken. I think there's some fractures here and there. So I think he'll come back. I think he just needs all that time to recover before he's back in the game.
Yeah, because numerous of wrestlers have broken their necks.
Yeah, most famously, I would say probably Steve Austin.
Steve Austin, Kurt Angle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Brock.
Yeah.
I think John Cena broke his.
That sounds right. Or some sort of something around his neck. Maybe a shoulder.
Yeah, Edge broke his neck.
Yeah. Unfortunate. It's an occasion that happens quite a lot. So let's go ahead and move on to our third match, and I'll let you introduce this one.
All right, the next one is going to be Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but Logan Paul, he rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't like him. I mean, I respect his in-ring ability, and I know he's playing a character, but like from what I've heard of him, separate from wrestling, before wrestling, I never really liked him or his brother Jake. Yeah. But, you know, I'll give credit where credit is due. He's great in the ring. I mean, it seems like he really respects the in-ring stuff, which is always impressive when a celebrity really gives it their all. Because they could just come in, throw a punch, win a match, they're done. But the fact that he's really out there doing high-flying stuff and, you know, impressive lariats.
I will say he does have some impressive qualities. Like, okay, the first thing that I noticed was that he pretty much did a box jump onto the top rope, like from the ring to the top rope. He just jumped.
Yeah, it was insane.
And he stuck it. But he went for a moonsault and he missed. And I can't remember what happened after that. But specifically what I wanted to hit on was Seth Rogen. Seth Rollins throws him, or looks at him and says, "You want to play with the big boys?" And throws him out of the ring and says, "Bye-bye, bitch."
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's funny. I do want to mention their entrances, because their entrances were both pretty unique. Logan Paul kind of talking trash, and he did like a zip line entrance, which is pretty interesting. But he partly owns the Prime not energy drink, but like sports drink. So we had a mascot come out with him, and it's going to come back into play later on in the match. But for me, I was like, oh, really, dude? Like, this is... Yeah. Like, I get wrestling is all about advertising, but you really got to advertise this right now? So there's a guy in a bright blue Prime bottle costume comes out with him. But it comes into play later on, so it's worth it. Yeah. And Seth Rollins has this guy... I don't know if he's really an composer for an orchestra or not, but he has the crowd doing the whoa big chants that go on with Seth Rollins' entrance, and then he had this extravagant, puffy, like red robe almost. Yeah, that was kind of interesting. But I was going to point out the fact that he took it off, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like that like wiry top he had on. That looked like a Jeff Jarrett thing, wasn't it? Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like the. I'm just gonna call them suspenders. Yeah. The Jeff Jarrett suspenders, but they were very, very, very bright pink.
Yeah. He had the pink and the red. I mean, I normally like dark red with a light pink, but I didn't really like his attire that well with this one. But let's see what we got here. So, said the bye-bye bitch thing. Okay. Seth hits 3 suicide dives. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah, he would do it, run back in. Yeah, that was impressive. I forgot about that happening. That was crazy.
I want to hit on that I keep wanting to say Seth Rogen. Seth Rollins was giving some serious chops to the chest, and Logan Paul actually started to bleed from his chest.
I didn't notice that. Yeah. That's crazy.
And that's another thing. Like, you can tell the difference between Vince and Triple H. It's almost like doing the creative. It's almost like Triple H just doesn't care if there's blood or not. But we're going to come back to that later because there's more blood.
Yeah, it's pretty now infamous thing going on there. Yeah. So I want to bring up, because I'm not exactly sure where these notes come into play, but I want to bring up that frog splash onto the table.
Yeah.
Can we? Because I forget exactly how it got out there, but they got to the outside of the ring by the announcer's table, Spanish announce table, and Logan Paul's got the offense, and he's getting Seth Rollins. I'm Seth Rogen too. He's getting Seth Rollins on the table, and I forget if that was before or after, but you find out KSI is underneath the Prime costume.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about him, but anyone who doesn't know really anything about him, he's like co-owner of Prime with Logan Paul. Like they're friends. He's
one of his partners.
Yeah, they're both kind of scummy YouTubers. So I don't know much about him. I don't really like him, but I love this moment here where Logan Paul and KSI get their phones out because they're gonna do like selfies or selfie video or whatever of them attacking Seth Rollins. So Logan Paul goes up to the top rope. He's gonna do a frog splash onto Seth Rollins. But then Seth Rollins, at the very last second, pulls KSI onto the table in his Prime costume, and Logan Paul hits a frog splash on him. Yep. That was great.
So the turnaround for the whole match before that happened was because Logan Paul, he was getting some good hits in, but the turnaround was when Seth, he did his curb stomp onto Logan Paul's hand on the steel steps, which at that point I was like, yes! Because, I with you, I don't really care for Logan Paul.
Yeah, me either.
Seth Rollins, he had his little heel run, but I feel like now he's going back to babyface.
Yeah, he was definitely positioned as the face for this match. At least for sure.
Everybody was cheering for him.
Yeah, even when he was one of those, like, no one actually hated him as a heel, but he was a heel, you know. So I did see Seth hits the pedigree on Logan Paul. Yeah. And then was it right after that? Or does he try to pin him and he kicks out?
I think it was right after the pedigree because I think he thought that the pedigree wasn't going to be enough because Logan Paul was putting up a fight. Yeah. But, he hits the pedigree and then does his curb stomp.
Yeah, he does a curb stomp on Logan Paul and to win the match. So Seth Rollins wins the third match of the first night, which I was happy to see. Yeah. Let's see. Let's move on to our fourth match. This one was good. It wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be, unfortunately. This is the tag team match between Damage Control with Bayley versus Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus. I thought it was a decent match. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to steal the night or anything. But there was a few moments, and, to Lita and Trish's credit, it's been a while since they've wrestled, and they did a pretty good job. Yeah. But there are a lot of times where you could tell, since they've been out of the game for so long, they... Like, the other members, Bayley and Damage Control, would like almost be doing a move, but have to stop for a second to let Lita or Trish get in a certain position to do the move. So that's the only thing, is the flow of the match kind of stopped every now and then with those moments. But overall, Lita and Trish Stratus did a great job, I think.
Yeah, I think they did too. And Lita being one half of the women's tag team champions now. Now, again, they've been out of the game for quite some time, but I feel like the match was good. Like you said, it did have its moments where you could definitely tell Damage Control had to wait a second.
Yeah, let them get in position, which is, like I said, no knock against them. I mean, the fact that they're back 20 years later after their the prime of their career, and they're all in great shape, they all look good, credit to them for that, for sure.
And one thing I wanted to point out, Michael Cole, he actually pointed out that Trish was, I don't know if she was wearing the exact same outfit or a similar outfit to the last time that WrestleMania was in Hollywood, which was over 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because she was wearing gray pants with like a white top and like suspenders. Kind of looked like a 1930s kind of reporter almost. That's what I kind of got the feeling from.
So, if you don't know, Damage Control is... Did you already mention all their names?
No.
Okay, it's Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Yeah. So, don't really know much about the other two, but I know a little bit about Bayley. Mm-hmm. I will say I liked her more as a babyface. Yeah. Because I feel like her as a heel it should have come to an end a while ago.
Yeah, I also feel like they're not giving her a great push as a heel. Like, she's losing a lot. Yeah. And I know heels ultimately have to lose because they're the bad guys, but I feel like it's not her fault, but they're not really positioning her to get much heat. Yeah. It's kind of just like, I'm going to scream at kids and I'm going to yell at Becky Lynch when I'm fighting her and yell at the crowd. But it's not, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you need more than just being kind of mean.
Yeah.
To get my attention, at least, specifically.
Yeah. So the first note that I wanted to hit on was Io hits a springboard drop kick. I can't remember who she hit it on, but she hit it, and I thought it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I like Io Sky and Dakota Kai. They're both really good.
Oh yeah,
great wrestlers. I like to see happy to see what is going to go on with their career as they move forward.
Yeah. Later on in the match, Lita hit a double DDT.
Oh yeah,
and I thought that was pretty good for her, pretty impressive because she's been out of the loop.
Yeah. I do, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, yeah.
I want to point out that Bayley did the Jeff Hardy juke in front of Lita.
Yeah.
That was cool. And I was surprised because, there's not a whole lot, obviously since Matt and Jeff aren't with WWE anymore, they didn't mention them at all. I don't think they ever mentioned Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, the Hardys, Hardy Boys, whatever version. Never mentioned it, which I thought was kind of disappointing. There was a part of me that was like, how awesome would it be if they were able to talk something in with Matt and Jeff, and they were gonna show up during this.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome. Even if they just I don't know what they could have done if they're just in the audience or something. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. That was another, news. I saw an updated picture of Jeff Hardy, and he's
not looking good.
He's looking a little rough.
Oh, I haven't seen anything new of him.
And I'm not saying that he's not in shape, because he's still in shape. It's just you could tell that he actually looks sober.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Just like
in the face, he looked a little aged.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the first time I've ever seen him look aged.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen any new pictures of him. I hope that he is able to recover, and I don't know if he's ever going to wrestle again. At a certain point, a certain way, I hope he doesn't, just because I feel like him and wrestling just aren't going well together anymore, because one's kind of leading into the addiction, and it's unfortunate. I hope something changes, and I hope to see the two of them in the Hall of Fame someday.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. They have to be.
Oh yeah, this is a little detour. I just wanted to quickly just mention who was inducted to the Hall of Fame this year. We're not going to have a whole deep dive into it, just a quick little conversation. So, I don't know much about this wrestler, but a Japanese wrestler, the Great Muta, he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. Stacy Keibler, Andy Kaufman. Unfortunately, Andy Kaufman's passed away, so is his brother and sister, or cousins or something?
I think it was his brother and sister.
So
I'm not sure.
They came out. Who else was it? I forgot. Oh, the other one, Tim White, right? Or Tim Robinson?
Tim White.
Yeah, with his brothers came out, and they won. They're the ones who accepted the award on his behalf. And of course, Rey Mysterio. He was the headlining of the Hall of Fame, for sure.
Now, Stacy Keibler, she was great as far as the attitude and ruthless aggression. Oh, she wasn't really in ruthless aggression that much. She was there for a little bit, but not a long time.
Kind of the early years of the ruthless aggression.
Yeah. Again, back then, they were divas. They weren't really. They didn't get the push that they should have gotten. Yeah. So it would have been great to see her, now.
Yeah.
And Tori Wilson inducted her.
Yeah, because Mick Foley was there. Did he? He just did a speech for her, right?
Yeah, I think him and Tori.
Oh, okay.
I think they both inducted her.
Yeah. Which
Tori Wilson, if you watched it back then, they were great friends and everything. I did find it a little ironic, though. Andy Kaufman was inducted by Jerry Lawler. And I say that because there's a segment where Jerry the King Lawler was on Andy Kaufman's show. And he got pissed off and he punched Andy.
Well, that was actually the Dave Letterman late night show.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And it turns out that was a work.
Oh, it was all staged?
That was supposed to happen.
Okay.
But that was before Mike Tyson, that was kind of the big... wrestling has always been a niche thing, and every now and then a celebrity will come over and help bring new eyes to the product. And I think Andy Kaufman was one of those well, maybe not the first, because obviously there was Mr. T and Cyndi Lauper for Hulk Hogan, but that was one of the first couple ones that helped get more eyes from. And he's another one of those where I don't know if his in-ring work was great, but like you could tell he actually loved and respected wrestling. He wasn't just a celebrity going there to make a quick buck. Like, he actually loved it. So, but we could talk about their whole feud another time.
Yeah, I thought Andy Kaufman was great. Just a little side note: if you haven't seen Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey, he's portraying Andy Kaufman. Yeah, it's a great movie.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of bad things about Jim Carrey's behavior on set. Like, he went method, but took it way too far. Yeah, a lot of people said. So
there's a documentary about it.
Yeah, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Rey Mysterio, legend.
And I think Ric Flair inducted Great Muta. Or at least did his speech. I don't know if he inducted him or not.
Yeah, I remember seeing him there for the speech. WCW veteran Conan inducted Rey Mysterio. Yeah. I honestly didn't know that Conan was still alive.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because I haven't heard that name in such a long time. Yeah. And when I heard that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
You know, because that was always one of my dad's favorite wrestlers.
All right, well, let's see. Let's get back to that match there. Sorry for that little detour, people. So where are we now?
We are...
It's a double DDT? Yeah. Okay. We have here that Trish Stratus hits the Stratusfaction on Dakota Kai. I forget what that move is. What is the Stratusfaction?
Where she gets him in like a little headlock and points out and runs and does the springboard into a bulldog.
Okay, yeah, I remember that now. Yeah, I like that move a lot. Oh, I did want to make a quick note about Trish Stratus. I'm not going to get into it, but if Jerry Lawler was there and it was the early 2000s, he would have been...
He would have been so horny.
Yeah, his crotch would have exploded. Because Trish has had some augmentations since the last time we've seen her. So yeah, that's a quick little side note. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, he would have been...
Puppies!
Yep, just going crazy. So Io, she hit a pretty impressive, like, big moonsault onto everybody, like, on the outside. I feel like that move is overdone.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, it's cool, but, spice it up a little bit. Do something different.
Yeah, I agree.
Do like a corkscrew or maybe go a Jeff Hardy way and hit a whisper in the wind.
Oh, I do want to point out that they did a poetry in motion, Trish and Lita.
That, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But Trish, was it Trish that was supposed to be the Matt Hardy, on her hands and knees? She was too close.
Oh, yeah.
She was way too close.
I didn't notice her being too close. I just noticed I was a little disappointed because she didn't hit it the way Jeff Hardy hit it.
Yeah.
She kind of just did just a straight jump. Yeah. And Jeff Hardy usually does kind of like a sideways kind of
kick.
Yeah, kick, kind of just throwing his side into them.
And I think she would have if Trish wasn't so close,
Yeah, I agree.
She was so close that Lita was not able to get any kind of air. So when she went, she kind of just hit her in the head.
Kind of like, I don't know, would it be called an elbow drop necessarily? But just kind of hits her with an elbow.
Yeah.
But, so let's see what we got here. So we got Lita hits the Twist of Fate on Io, which was great to see. She hits the Lita Salt. That was called Lita Salt on Dakota and Io.
Yep.
That was impressive. Then we have Becky hits the Manhandle Slam and wins the match. So our winners for that match are Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus, which I knew was going to happen. That one wasn't a surprise, but it was a fun match. I enjoyed it. Moving ahead to our fifth match of the night, which this one, I don't know if I would say it's my favorite because I think the last match was the best match, but this one was like very much like a crowd-pleasing match. I think the crowd was excited from start to finish on this one.
Oh yeah,
the fifth match was Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, and for weeks, months leading up to this, Dominic has been calling Rey Mysterio a deadbeat dad. And there was a funny segment where he was like, on my 16th birthday, I had to watch my friends get Mercedes or Lamborghinis or something, I forgot. And all you got me was a BMW. That was pretty funny. Calling him a deadbeat, but he doesn't have any actual instances of him being a deadbeat.
Yeah, Dominic just being the spoiled kid that you can tell.
Yeah.
He's definitely playing it well.
Yeah. But I thought it was funny, the little intro they did for Dominic, where it's like he's in prison, and the guards come and get him, and they lock him up and chain up his arms. They put him in the back of a police car, or not a police car, but like a
van, transport van,
exactly. And then he comes out to the ring, sirens blaring over the intercom, the stadium speakers, and he comes out, and actually he's wearing a mask similar to Rey Mysterio's mask from the 1997 Halloween Havoc. Did you catch that? The purple, because he had the purple attire on, like Rey had.
Okay.
I don't know if they're question marks, but they kind of look like question marks, and it's all purple, and that was cool. And I was hoping he was going to fight with the mask on, but he took it off. Yeah. He walked a little bit, had it on, took it off. Thought that was pretty cool. And then Rey Mysterio's entrance, that one was a lot of fun.
That one kind of hit me in the heart a little bit because he first came out.
This one's right now just talking about it.
Me too. Huh. If you don't know, Eddie Guerrero passed away in 2005 of heart failure. But Rey Mysterio and Eddie were really close, and he came out to Eddie Guerrero's music, and he came out in a lowrider
with Snoop Dogg.
With Snoop Dogg driving.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that really hit. And I was like, I almost cried.
That was moving. Yeah, I love to see it because, Eddie Guerrero was, from all accounts, just a nice guy, but also like an amazing wrestler, an amazing storyteller. He might not be Vince McMahon's ideal wrestler because he wasn't tall, but he was buff, a beefy guy. He was muscular and a good high flyer. We'll get into Eddie Guerrero another time.
But he also had a storyline back in the day with Rey and Dominic as a kid.
Yep.
Because they had a custody battle going on.
Yeah, a ladder match where whoever wins gets custody of Dominic.
Yeah.
Wrestling is weird sometimes, people.
Yeah. But yeah, that just really hit.
Yeah.
And, he just did the little intro, like with the car coming up, and then he walked up the steps, and then his music started playing.
Yeah, I liked his attire a lot too. I didn't notice at first when I saw the helmet, and I was like, oh, that looks like Daredevil's helmet. And then I realized that was a nod to the Great Muta. That's what his helmet was supposed to look like, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. And it was the first time I remember ever seeing Eddie Guerrero in a mask that's like thick like that. Usually they're like, Ray, what did I say?
Eddie.
Oh, my bad. Rey Mysterio. Usually, I don't know what the material is, but usually it's a thinner mask. And this one was cool because it was almost like a helmet.
Yeah, it was really bulky.
I liked the way it looked. I thought it looked cool in it. But, so...
We started out with Ray hitting a Hurricane Rana on Dominic. And I was just hoping that he just beat his ass. Give him the ass beating that he needed.
Well, we have here the Ray hits the head scissors, and this was a funny moment because Dominic is kind of head down in the turnbuckle, between the second, the top and the second one. Rey Mysterio takes off his belt and starts spanking him like a kid, and the crowd, just a huge pop from the crowd. Everyone loved that. I love that too. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. One thing that I noticed, it was a little after that, but Dominic, he was, trying to catch his breath or whatever, or holding his butt from getting a spanking. He went over to his mom and his sister, who was in the crowd, and took his sister's drink and just threw it in her face.
Yeah.
And I think Aaliyah, is that her name?
His sister?
Yeah, I think.
I'm not totally sure her name.
I think her name's Aaliyah. I think she's training now.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
But he took her drink and then just threw it in her face. And again, he tells his mom to shut up. And which, a little side note, that's your mom. Okay. If you got a mom like mine, okay, Mom, I love you, but if you got a mom like mine, and if you were to say that, you better run.
Yeah.
She's going to kill you. Because my mom has pinned me up against the wall.
Yeah.
Like, not, physically.
Yeah.
Just, like, messing with me.
Yeah.
We weren't actually arguing. She grabbed me and she put me against the wall. She's like, I will mess you up, son, if you were to ever do that to me.
Yeah.
Yes, mommy. but tells his mom to shut up. She slaps him. Again, big pop from the crowd. You know, they're just so excited because she finally just had enough.
Yeah. Nothing like some abuse sells a crowd. No, I'm kidding. It was funny. I loved all that stuff they had going on there. Let's see what else we got here. So we got Dom hits Ray into the bottom turnbuckle.
It's when he went to do like a power bomb.
Yeah.
But instead of doing a power bomb, he flipped him.
Oh,
and Ray's head hit the damn turnbuckle.
I forgot about that.
I saw that and I was like, he's got to be out.
Yeah.
He's got to be out. He's done, you know. But he pulled through.
Yeah.
Ray, he hit a 619.
Booyaka.
And then, I don't know who these new people are, but he created a new LWO.
Yeah, one of them had a small kind of feud with Ricochet, Santos Escobar.
Okay.
He's really good. The stuff I've seen him do in the ring is really good. And I wish I could remember the other people's names. But yeah, I think the SmackDown before, he kind of reinstituted the LWL.
Okay, yeah, they came running out with the LWO shirts on. I was like, what? I was like, oh, shit, okay. Another tribute to Eddie.
Yeah, I loved all that stuff. Anything Eddie related, I love it all.
Yeah.
So then we have, actually Dominic is able to turn the tables around and hits the 619 on Ray. Yeah. And then he does the frog splash.
And I noticed, well, you know what? I'll wait until we're done. I'll wait for that. Okay, so Dominic, he hits the frog splash, and then, you know, ref is turned around or whatever. He grabs a chain.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Bad Bunny comes and saves the day.
Yep.
He grabs the chain. He's like, nope.
Yep, not going to let it happen. Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention that Bad Bunny is on the Spanish announce team.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was Spanish.
He's Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think the next pay-per-view is Backlash, and that's going to be in Puerto Rico. He's going to be the host of that one.
You're right.
Yeah, I forgot about that moment, actually. He takes it away from him, and as he's distracted, Ray then gets Dominic once again with the 619, hits him with a frog splash, pins to win the match. It's a great feel-good moment because everyone wanted to see Dominic get his ass kicked, so that was great to see.
So what I was going to hit on was Dominic, he did the classic, you know, arms in, Eddie Guerrero frog splash.
Yeah.
And normally that's what Ray does. But Ray, I don't know what it's called. He splits his legs and then throws his arms under. I call it the D'Lo Brown splash because that was his move. Yeah. And if you don't know D'Lo Brown, he's from Attitude Era, 90s. Great wrestler.
I want to say he's a trainer now.
I think he is.
I could be wrong, but I think he is. Yeah, so that was a great match. I like that one a lot. Moving on to match number 6.
This one got me good.
Yeah, they got you pumped or surprised?
Both. Yeah. Like I wasn't really pumped for it at first, but then they started going at it, and I was like, this is a good match.
I like both of those ladies a lot. I like Rhea Ripley a lot, and I like Charlotte Flair a lot. I definitely feel like Rhea, and, you know, spoiler alert, she wins the match. I feel like it was well-deserved because she's been putting in the work for a long time.
Definitely.
And,
Yeah, I do want to point out, they did say, you know, Rhea wasn't, you know, and this is for the championship match, so they don't announce their names until everybody is in the ring. Yeah. So it was Rhea, Charlotte, the referee was a woman, and the announcer was a woman. This was the first time ever they made history. This was a history-making moment, as Michael Cole had said. This was the first time that it was just all women in the ring in that particular moment.
Oh, that's cool. I must have missed that.
So, but I thought that was pretty neat. But yeah, you got Rhea Ripley. She's part of Judgment Day, a.k.a. Dominic's mommy. M-A-M-I.
Yeah, so she's going to get Charlotte Flair, Charlotte Flair is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Woo! And that's, and that's what this match is for, is the SmackDown Women's Championship, which I thought was an interesting one because she had won it from Ronda Rousey a few months back. Kind of an impromptu match that Ronda started up.
Yeah. So to start off the match, I noticed that Charlotte had actually connected with a kick
onto Rhea.
Yeah, to Rhea's jaw.
I remember that too.
I saw that and I was like, ooh.
I mean, knowing the two of them, they probably agreed, like, let's get some hits on each other during this match, because they're tough. Both of them are very tough, and they love to sell that realism in their matches. So I feel like that was probably planned, but if not, maybe maybe Rhea hit her with a receipt later on. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Now, if it was, meant to happen, Rhea is a good seller.
Yeah.
Because when it happened, I was just like, you could tell that she was like pissed.
Yeah, and it may not have meant to happen either. I know Charlotte Flair is kind of notorious for hitting when not even accidentally, but like actually hitting people. She's kind of notorious for that kind of stuff. I do want to say, for people who don't know that much about wrestling or are getting into it, I use the term receipt, and that means in a match, everyone knows wrestling is technically fake. It's scripted. It's sleight of hand. You throw a punch, but you're not really trying to connect. Or if you are, you hit a certain area that doesn't hurt. Well, a receipt is basically, in a match, if one of you actually hits each other for real, kick, punch, slam, whatever it is, whether it's in that match or it's months later, they'll hit that person back. So that's getting a receipt.
And essentially just payback.
Yeah,
or revenge.
Much. Yeah.
But, Charlotte connected with that kick, and after that, Rhea just lost her shit. She started targeting Charlotte's back, just going in, like, hammering.
Yeah.
And then, Charlotte, she does I call them the woo chops.
Yeah.
Ric Flair, obviously, Charlotte is Ric Flair's daughter, and just giving those really harsh chest chops. And every time she hit, the crowd go, woo!
Yep.
But, Rhea goes for the Riptide, and this is the DDT.
Yeah.
She goes for the Riptide, and Charlotte hits a DDT, and Rhea just lands straight on top of her head.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's called a head spike bump.
Okay.
Where you intentionally land on your head, that way your head is on the ground and your legs are straight up, so it looks like you really hit it really hard.
Yeah.
That was impressive. Yeah, I love seeing that.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, they had a great match. Probably, I don't know, I keep saying that. Probably one of the best matches of night one.
I'll
for
give
sure.
it that.
Yeah, because it was brutal. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, we got Rhea hits her with a super German, right? And is this where Charlotte rotates so much that she like goes face first on the canvas?
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, you could tell it wasn't on purpose either, because when she got up, she had a scratch on her nose.
Yeah.
Because she had, got some a burn on her face after that match, after that throwdown.
A little mat burn.
Yeah.
I did notice before that they had both went for a big boot and they hit each other.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a double big boot.
Yeah.
But yeah, she did that. That I saw that, and you could tell that was not meant to happen.
Oh yeah, that drop.
Yeah, because she did a complete backflip.
Yeah.
But her face hit first.
Yeah, I think she over rotated a little bit too much, and just face. Luckily, she didn't break her nose. Honestly, like that scrape is, luckily that's all she got.
Yeah.
So we got here. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Charlotte hit a moonsault on the outside, which is cool. Like I said, I feel like it's overused.
Yeah.
But Charlotte seems like the type that would be more of a powerhouse than a flyer.
Yeah.
But she proved me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's this one thing I've seen her do before. I don't know what you'd call it, but it's similar to a moonsault, but she does this whole like bending twist as she lands it, which is pretty impressive. I've seen her do over the years.
Okay.
Now this one I thought was really impressive because Rhea hits a super riptide, which is her finisher, but she does this from the top rope. So she grabs Charlotte, does the whole arm between the legs thing, flips her around, and drops her so hard on the mat.
Yeah. And
wins the match. And yeah, now Rhea, first time. Well, I don't know if it's her first time, but now she's the SmackDown Women's Champion.
I think this is her first title.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because I know she was NXT champion. I think at one point she was the Raw champion. She was, I think, maybe I could be wrong about that, but I think she was a tag team champion at some point. I think she lost the NXT championship to Charlotte 3 years because they kept talking about that too.
Okay.
How this was kind of like a rematch in a way because they had gone against each other at WrestleMania. What would be it, 36, I think, and Rhea had lost to Charlotte. Okay. Now this is our headliner of the night, probably the one I was most excited about.
Me too, man. I was fired up.
We got the prize fighter Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going against the Usos. Feeling oozy. Jimmy and Jey Uso. They are the undisputed, right? Or is it unified?
Undisputed tag team champions.
Yeah, tag team, and they have been champions for, I think, 600 days, right?
Yes.
Somewhere like that. Like a good while they were champions.
Yeah, it was over 600 days.
Yeah.
Point out, I know we've probably mentioned it on the first episode, but Jimmy and Jey Uso are the sons of Rikishi, who was a great wrestler.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day. But we'll get to that another day. Let's jump into this bad boy.
Yeah, this one was awesome. I was hyped for this.
Yeah, this match was so freaking good.
Yeah. We're going to do, I'm going to try to keep it short. We're going to do a quick little build up to this match. So, Sami Zayn had lost to Johnny Knoxville WrestleMania 38, and he wanted to kind of get his reputation back up. So he decided to start helping out and trying to join the Bloodline, which the Bloodline is Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa, along with Paul Heyman. But the four of the first people I mentioned, they're all related in the probably the biggest wrestling family, the Anoa'i family, the Hawaiian family, just a huge
The Rock,
family.
Yokozuna, all of them, Rikishi.
If there's any Samoan wrestler you can think of, they're probably part of the Anoa'i family.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, he wanted to join that group. So Sami Zayn had been pushing for about a year to get into the group, trying to gain Roman Reigns' respect, Jey and Jimmy. He got everyone else's respect for the most part, except for Jay.
It was Jay at first.
Took a long time for him to get his respect. They finally started to like it, or Jay started to like Sammy. And then there was a match that was Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns had a match for the championship. Kevin Owens lost, but then all three of them started to just decimate Kevin Owens.
They handcuffed him.
Yeah, just super kick after super kick. And Sami Zayn decided to finally get revenge and decided to hit Roman Reigns.
In the back with a chair.
Yeah.
And that instant, I was like, it's just flashback to when the Shield had broken up for the first time.
Yep.
Seth Rollins, he hit. And I kind of noticed, and it may just be the way that he falls, but Roman, that when Seth had hit him, when the Shield had broken up, Seth hit him and Dean Ambrose with a chair, but Roman, he kind of stretched his back out and fell. He fell the exact same way.
Yeah, that probably was a nod to that. But so with some matches and some feuds going on in between, basically Sami Zayn is trying to kind of get revenge on the Bloodline, maybe kind of revenge for beating up Kevin Owens as well. So either way, I don't want to take forever talking about it, but Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn decided to finally team up together, take on the Usos for their championship. So that gets us to where we are now.
Another backstory with Kevin and Sami, they have pretty much grown up together in wrestling, indie shows to NXT to now.
Yeah. PWG, I think, is who they were with.
Yeah.
In the early days.
But, they finally hugged it out, and because they're best friends. They finally hugged it out and made amends, and now they're working together again.
Yeah, I was happy to see it.
So we start off the match with Jay and Sami starting it out, and Jay, he hit a suplex on the outside of the ring to Sami. And, Sami is just getting his ass tore to pieces. And he's just constantly trying to make a tag.
Yeah.
But they just won't let him. But I'm just, even talking about this match right now, I'm just still pumped.
Yeah.
Because this match was just so exciting. We talked about Jeff Hardy. He's probably not going to be wrestling that often, probably anymore. But Kevin Owens, he can hit that swanton bomb.
He hits a good looking one too.
Yeah.
I mean, and of course Kevin Owens is a heavier guy. He's not fat necessarily, but he's a little bit heavier. And how agile he is insane. Yeah. I mean, the way he gets around.
He can hit the back bend like Jeff Hardy does and everything because he hit the swanton on the outside.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Onto them.
Yeah, I've noticed, and I like it for the most part that Kevin Owens' big moves are all like from other big wrestlers. He's got the swanton bomb from Jeff, super kick from Shawn Michaels, stunner from Steve Austin. The only one that's like more original to him is the pop up power bomb.
Yeah, and I like that. Yeah, I like the pop up.
I like that one a lot too. Let's see what we got here. So we got Kevin Owens hits a frog splash on the out. Oh, you already said that, didn't you? Oh no, you said the moonsault. So he hits a frog splash on the outside to Jimmy as well, and inside on Jay. Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens
he
swanton.
He went to go hit a swanton again, but I think it was Jimmy put his knees up.
Yeah,
and kind of countered that. It was Jay, and because Jimmy hit the Uso splash, but he only got 2 count. And big pop from the crowd, because everybody just, I'm not going to say hates the bloodline, but, pretty tired of it.
Yeah, and, I think it's to the bloodline's credit, like, they're still popular, but they're like the heels you love to hate, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, so Kevin Owens, he hit 2 super kicks on one of them. I can't remember which one. But he did the suck it chop, and then run, and he did a cannonball, which I think is a great move.
Yeah, I like the cannonball a lot too, especially when someone like Kevin Owens hits it. Okay, so we got Sammy hits the brain buster on the apron. That one was crazy. I remember that move.
And you don't really see brain buster that often, and I think it's a good move. It could be a very dangerous move.
Yeah,
but Sammy hit it pretty well, and I give him props.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like, I didn't know much about Sami Zayn for a long time, and just with this build-up and everything, I have grown to really like Sami Zayn a lot.
Yeah, I like him a lot too.
So he hit Kevin Owens, he hit another swanton and only got a 2 count. But I can't believe that he does the swanton so well, because he is the first person that I have seen hit it just like Jeff Hardy does. Yeah. Like, he bends his back and he does the flip at the last second.
Yeah, is able to rotate it towards the end. Usually people just kind of just do a flip to their back. So yeah, I thought that was really impressive too. So we got Sami Zayn hits. Who's he hit with the Uso splash? I forget who he hit.
I think it was Jimmy.
Okay, I hate it because they're twins, it's sometimes hard to remember exactly what's happening to who and where.
Yeah.
But so then KO gets a double choke slam through the table, and I thought it was interesting because usually they bust through the Spanish announce table, but this time it was through the American announce table.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a good change of pace there.
Sammy was able to hit the Thunder Bomb.
Oh yeah, the blue Thunder Bomb. Yeah. I love that move.
Yeah, I do too.
I made that my wrestler's finisher in 2K22.
Nice.
One of his finishers.
Nice. Yeah, he was able to hit that, and then he was able to make a tag to KO, or Kevin Owens. And the Usos, they hit 3 super kicks, which, little side note, we talked about in the last episode, the super kick, is overdone.
Big time.
The main person I can think of always will be Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Sweet chin music, But you have so many other people doing it. And I'm just going to say it. The Usos, they get on my nerves with it because it seems like that's the only move they know how to do.
And they do it so many times in a match. Yeah. Like Shawn Michaels, he might hit it 2 or 3 times in a match depending on who he's going against. But usually if Shawn Michaels hit it, they're done. It's over. Yeah. And I feel like that move has lost its power because, Kevin Owens does it too. The Usos do it. I couldn't even count how many wrestlers hit a super kick. Yeah. And it's a good move. I like it for sure. But, it doesn't have the same, gravitas, the same sort of punch that it used to pack with Shawn Michaels. And I feel like that's kind of a shame. And, like other moves like the DDT, that was Jake the Snake's finisher. And if he hits someone with a DDT, he's out. And now it's such a common move.
Yeah. But I was going to say, Kevin Owens, I do like his super kick.
Yeah.
Even though it all looks the same.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, just something about the way that he hits it.
Yeah, I think he does pretty good. But yeah, I agree. The Usos, they'll just hit somebody with it so many times in one match, and it's just like,
yeah.
At a certain point, is it as powerful the second time as it was the first time? Like, I don't really.
Yeah.
It just kind of loses its power there for me.
So yeah, Kevin Owens, he gets double choke slam through the announcer's table. And then Usos, they hit a 1D on Sammy, only for a 2 count. And if you don't know what a 1D is, if you go back to the early days, Attitude Era, the Dudley Boys, they had the 3D. It's the same exact thing. Yeah. Just called a 1D instead.
I think Michael Cole's 1D, 1D, 1D once they hit it.
Yeah. And Sammy kicked out. Humongous pop from the crowd. Because everybody's just chanting for Sammy. Jesus. Sammy hit an exploder on Jay.
Well, then we got over here that Kevin Owens hits the double pop-up powerbomb, so he gets Jimmy and Jay with it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, and that just leads to then he hits him with who's he hit with the stunner? He hits one of them, one of the boys, to a 2 count. So close call, but not quite the end of the match for that one.
Yeah, they did. They hit 2 super kicks on Kevin Owens, which, again, just it seems like that's all they know how to do.
Yeah.
But, they hit an Uso splash. They only got a 2 count.
And then... what's up?
Okay. I didn't know how to word that correctly. So, Kevin, he was going for a suplex, and then he curved it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
I didn't know how to word that, but I thought it was really cool. Yeah.
Is that a super kick?
Oh, Sammy hit the haluva kick.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah. Was it on Jay?
Yeah, it was on Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a funny moment that I saw, and you probably noticed it and thought it was funny too, when I forgot what exactly happened, but I guess Sammy was like kind of hulking up in a way. He was just like arms down, leaning on the second rope, just doing this with his head.
Yeah.
His head just moving all over the place. Like, he looks like he's possessed. Like, honestly, for a second, I was like, that's kind of scary. Like, he looks like he's being possessed right now.
Yeah, it was just the crowd going insane. I wish that we could have been there.
Oh, yeah.
So, Kevin, he hit the super curve plex, I'm going to call it. And then, Sammy's over there hulking up and shit. Does 3 haluva kicks, which if you don't know what that is, the opponent is resting on the turnbuckle. Sammy runs to the corner of the other turnbuckle and just takes off full speed into like a big boot kind of.
Yeah.
It's like a big boot mixed with Daniel Bryan's running knee.
yeah, that was a crazy one. That was great. I love seeing that moment. Sami Zayn's able to work up the power for that and hits him 3 times. And then what? And then he comes out of the corner and Kevin Owens hits him with a stunner. And then they win. Yep, they pin the match. 1, 2. Pin the man. Win the match. 1, 2, 3. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn are now the undisputed tag team champions.
Crowd goes wild.
Like, insane. Probably one of the biggest pops since, like, Mankind won in 1998 or 99 or whatever. Won the WWF championship for the first time. It was a huge pop. Everyone's excited. I was excited. I'm glad that it finally happened. I'm glad to see them finally go down.
Yeah. Ruin the reign.
Yeah.
And that's it of WrestleMania Day 1.
Yeah.
So start out with WrestleMania Day 2.
Well, I was going to say maybe we should just do like a part 1, part 2 kind of thing.
That's fine.
Okay. So sorry everyone for that. Because this one ran a little bit long and I have to leave soon, unfortunately. So we're going to stop it here with WrestleMania Day 1, since that's an hour's worth of content already on its own. So next week, or maybe not next week, because I think they're both going to be published this week. Our next episode, we're going to do night 2 of WrestleMania.
Yep.
So we'll finish that one up, and I need to look it up really quick. See the message? Are you looking it up too?
Yeah.
But we actually, which I was very happy to see and impressed to see because we only have 1 episode. Someone that neither of us know messaged us on our Instagram page, or Squared Circle. By the way, follow our Squared Circle Junkies Instagram page
and Twitter
and TikTok.
Yeah.
We have all three.
Twitter is SC Junkies 94.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok is just Squared Circle Junkies Pod.
Yep.
Instagram, I think, is just Squared Circle Junkies. So yeah, please follow that. Either way, we got a message today actually from I don't know. Should we say the name?
Nah, we'll leave the name anonymous.
Okay.
But we did get a message asking if we could cover a pay-per-view on our podcast.
Yeah, and I'm very excited because I didn't think this would happen already this quickly.
Yeah.
He wants us, and we're going to do it, by the way, Mr. Anonymous. It is the Battle Royal at Albert Hall.
1991.
1991. So we're going old school. Yeah. We're going way back to the new generation era.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited because, on the cover of it, he sent a screenshot of the cover. It's Animal and Hawk, the Road Warriors, and I used to like them.
Yeah,
I used to like them a lot.
Me too.
And then I pulled it up earlier on Peacock, and first person I see is, woo!
Yep.
Nature Boy.
And I see here we have Ric Flair. I'm not sure who he's going against on this picture. There's a WWF UK debut. I guess it's the first time they're over in the UK, maybe, based on this picture. And they're having they call it an over-the-top rope 20-minute battle royal. And, we'll look into it. And after, so we're doing this episode, part 1. We'll have a part 2, and then it'll be that episode.
Yep.
So hopefully we'll have it out. We'll have part 2 out sometime later on this week. And we'll have that one probably 2 weeks from now, whenever we get the time to record.
Yeah, please give us a like and a follow. We're also on Spotify.
Yes.
It's Squared Circle Junkies.
Only on Spotify.
Yeah, only on Spotify.
So, sorry if you don't have it. Maybe we'll get around to posting these on YouTube, so anyone that doesn't have Spotify can go to YouTube and give them a listen there as well.
Yeah, you can see what the otter and the bear look like.
Yeah, I would love for us to get start doing a video recording.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping we get enough people listening to this. Obviously, people we know, but people we don't know listening to it. Maybe someday turn it into a source of revenue and upgrade, add in 2 microphones, add in some nicer chairs, get a nice display for when we do the video recordings. So we're very happy with everyone who's been listening and following, and we hope you keep it up, and we hope you tell your friends about us. And I think that's it.
You know what I would like to see?
What's up?
I would like to see us at live events, Not necessarily recording there, but we could be like a live commentary.
Yeah.
Which would be awesome for our listeners.
Yeah, it would.
But yeah, I would love to be at live shows.
Me too.
And all the stuff that you said, having nicer equipment and everything.
Yeah.
But that's not what's important. We love doing this, whether we have nice equipment or not. We love wrestling and all things wrestling.
Yes, all the time.
All the time. And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you.